Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Loving how you wind up for me. Tonight is all on me. Mash up the place for me. Yeah, yeah. She just wanna highlight. Ooh, that body talk to me. I need a taste, baby. Loving the way you move around me. No more delay. No, you can wait to shut it down. Won't you show me how you work it? I can't find no flaws, you perfect. Cause every time that you come around my way, I keep falling again. I keep falling again. And every time that you come across my mind, I keep falling again. I keep falling again. In love. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the 5 F's of Love Season 3 of Real Talk with the Ladies. I am extremely excited about this season. I mean, we have such an amazing cast of women from all over the United States, and I'm really excited. But before we get started, I want to send all my love to my buddy, Raj. She will not be on the show tonight. Her mother passed away, and she is such a good friend. She was going to try to come on tonight, and you can't do that. So I want to tell her I love her and I appreciate her. And all my prayers and condolences are with her and her family during this time. So I'm going to say, let's get started. You guys are going to meet 4 of the 7 new ladies that are coming on. 3 of our ladies have previous engagements, so that's not a big deal. You'll meet them next week. So you know who's coming back. That's Dr. Mac. Dr. Mac, how are you?
Happy New Year.
I'm going to tell you, you came back, honey, like with a Shaka Khan. What is going on here?
You know what? Shout out to Chicago. I'm okay with that. I am, and you're giving us this Halle Berry situation with your soup. I'm okay with that.
Oh my God! I'm going to tell you. I looked at your social media, and you were rocking over the holidays. Like all the events you did for couples and all the things you guys did. You know, we're going to get into that on the podcast tonight because I want people to understand how to. We need to start doing that more.
Yeah,
doing more events like back in the day.
Yep,
exactly. Well, you guys know North Carolina in the house. What's going on, Rhumel? What is going on?
Hey there. How y'all doing?
Good. All I got to say is, how's the baby?
Well, you know what? Let me tell you, tonight is my youngest daughter's 16th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes. Well, we got to sing happy birthday to her.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I spent the whole day because they did not have school today. Okay. So I spent the whole day with her so that I could spend tonight with you guys.
That's good. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Tell her thank you for sharing.
I will. I'll tell her. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So listen, this, I'm going to, by the way, one of our Real Talk ladies is talking to us, but I'm going to finish introducing. So what is going on in Pennsylvania? I'm just trying to understand. Like, you are looking amazing tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Queen.
Yeah. I'm just so excited about everybody coming on. And let me tell you, you guys will often hear me say refer to Jillian being Barbie because when you guys see her in person, she does look like Barbie. And by the way, I collect Barbies. That's the reason why I keep saying that. I have like one of the collections. She is gorgeous. But let me tell you something. Jillian is an amazing mom. She's an amazing wife. And in the medical field, she's a rock star. She's a nurse. She's no joke. Like, I talked to her while she was at work, and she's just like so logistic about what she does, and she just really cares about her patients. And I love that about her. So I really appreciate all you guys coming on tonight. And let me tell you, what's going on, Tara? How are you? She said, happy birthday to your little one. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate TNT. Well, thank you so much. How are you doing tonight, TNT? And let me zip up. I don't want to forget this first person. Tara said hello, ladies. Before we even got
Hey.
started, thank you so much for joining us. Well, ladies, you know our topic tonight is pretty intense. I think in 2023, whether you're married, whether you're single, divorced, widowed, dating is dating. I think people think that when you're married, you shouldn't be dating, but you got to continue to date your spouse because it's a romance, right? I got 3 married ladies on here, Holly. They're going to straighten us out and the rest of the single ladies out because we need to know there's some hot romance. So let me tell you, we got a cute little question. So let's get started. Our first question is, do you think dating with a purpose adds pressure when you're trying to get to know someone? So I'm going to start with Dr. Mack because Dr. Mack, I want to ask you, before you started to date your husband, were you thinking I want to date because I want a husband, or were you thinking I'm just hanging out having a good time and boom, this guy showed up?
I think I want to date because I don't like being bored. So you have to continue to be creative. And if I'm going to do anything, whether it was working on a husband or working on anything long term, it's like, okay, I don't like to do the same thing over and over and over again. And that has to apply to dating as well. So I go into it thinking, well, what would I like to do if he was doing it for me? And if he asked me for a list of things that I'd like to do, how long is my list? Like, how creative am I even with the requests? So it's always interesting.
See, and that to me makes sense in what you were saying. To me, I don't date with a purpose. I just date and I just get to know the person. And I think that path that we go dictates what that relationship looks like. But I think, so Holly, for you, have you heard or do you date with a purpose with the intent of I'm looking for a husband, or do you just kind of let it go with the flow?
I've heard of dating with a purpose. I think I'm a little bit too old to be dating just for fun at this point. So I usually don't just date because I don't have anything else to do. I'm perfectly fine with taking myself out, so I don't need somebody to occupy my time. So for me, it has to be worth my time and my effort. I don't know if a purpose is really involved, but I just know where I'm at in my life currently. So that's how I date.
Okay, and I like that. I think, I find that when I talk to the guys versus the women, right? The women, I find they're like, oh, well, no, I'm looking for my husband. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do. So Rhumel, like, you're out there, you've got your podcast, you're doing Lady Talk. What do you think?
Okay, can I just say that when I started dating, when I was in college and me and my husband got together, my perspective was very different than now. Okay. So if I were looking for a husband now, I definitely wouldn't do it the way I did it. I was definitely out here like, I want a husband, I want kids, I want this, I want that. And so I was dating with a purpose. I was very purposeful. I was like, I know once I get out of college, because I went to a HBCU, that I wouldn't have the same kind of pool that I had when I was in school. So I was very purposeful in the way that I dated, but I like the freedom that women seem to have in being able to just like not worry about it so much, not have the freedom to enjoy the process of dating. I don't know if I enjoyed it. I just was serious about mine. It's very
I love
serious.
it. And that does make a difference. So Tara said, she said yes, in her sense, dating with the purpose. And I assume that's what you're saying yes to, Tara. And then Consuelo, by the way, I like that name. She said, hey, I see you, cuz. Who cuz is that?
That's Mike. Did
I say the name?
My southern cousins.
Is that your son? Is her name Consuelo?
Yes.
Okay, hey Consuelo, thank you for joining us for the first time. I'm not going to ever forget Consuelo's name.
But I like what Rhumel said though about being purposeful, and it sounds like the shift was her being in agreement with younger generations having a bit more joy in dating. And when you remove like the list and the plan and the timeline, it's like, wow, I am having fun and I done slipped and fell in love.
Mhm.
See, I like that. And I slipped and fell in love.
And that's the fall part that you watch on the movie. Like if you have to fall, it's a faith move. So when you try to plan it, if you're a spiritual person, you're kind of in the way.
You're in the way because there's a
fall.
plan for you. And you know what? I'm so funny. You say that, you know, Jillian told me her story about how she met her husband, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. But, you know, I think she did exactly that. She got out of the way. She moved over and she said, I'm going to change directions. So Jillian, you tell your story because, by the way, her husband's absolutely gorgeous and he's like a geeker like me. So I'm loving him. I'm just saying, she already knows I got a crush on her husband. It's me. Go ahead, Jillian. She knows it.
And I told him that too. And he just was like, what? You got to tell me more. What's going on?
Tell him to watch the podcast. I'm saying it now publicly. I have a crush on your husband. He knows it. Okay.
He was so thrilled to hear that. Trust me. I think I dated with too much of a purpose back in the beginning before I met my husband, and that put way too many expectations into the mix. And I felt like I was getting disappointed. I was setting myself up to fail. And then I read this book. I'll look it up later and I'll tell you what it was later. But and I read this dating book because I felt like, what am I doing wrong? Because I felt like maybe it was me, because relationship fail after fail after fail. And then read some self-help books, and I did have to self-reevaluate. And then I realized I need to have more acceptance because nobody's perfect. Yeah. And I'm very type A, and I had to have way more acceptance, you know, accept the little things that don't really matter, like maybe snoring or a weird laugh. But those are the little things. But the big things are what really matters in a relationship. And so once I started accepting everybody for who they were and loving everybody for who they are, just life got better, and I just started going more with the flow and just much happier that way.
So, you know, I think, and I feel the same way. I think a lot of times, and I never date with a purpose. It's so many guys I've gone out with that after one date, I've decided, oh, you're going to be my friend. Like, I'm over it. It's not going to work because I know what I want. And so to me, I'm not waiting for you to like me. I'm waiting for me to see what it is that I'm attracted to. And it's silly stuff. Like, I like a man with a nice nose. If you got a nice big nose and you're like 6'3", 6'4", hello. Like, that's a starter. That's a starter, right, for me. And then it gets into some other things, but that's my starter. So when guys come up to me automatically and they don't have a nice size nose, I don't even think about, I'm not interested in you. It's just a thing. It's just a physical thing that I'm talking about. And I know that's weird. Dr. Mack is like, Christine, really is a nose?
No. It's not. I just wanted to know if that was okay in reverse for a man to say, you know what, this was cool. Not really my, I need a bigger boob for me.
Oh, and absolutely. You know what? Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing that gets me. And look, okay, so we need to go to commercial break, but let me just say this. It surprises me how many women get upset to say, oh, he doesn't want me. I'm cute. Maybe you're not his type. Mm-hmm. I can't believe he's talking to her and not to me. Maybe you're just not his type. So folks, listen, we get back from this commercial break. We're going to ask a question about whether or not giving it up and dating constitutes a marriage or a situationship. We'll be right back after these messages.
I don't know about you, but you make me crazy. Never got your name, but you got me begging. I don't know about you, you like to pick and choose. Make it all about you. Go take it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me. 'Cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. Got me locked in.
guys, we are back. And when we left off, we were having a deep conversation about what if you're just not their type? You know, a lot of times we think we are a person's type because they're our type. Trust me, every guy that I looked at, sometimes I'm really just not their type. So before I continue with our shout outs, Consuela, you know I got to keep Consuela in here, honey. She said, hey, y'all. That's what Consuela said. TNT says, does nice men big LOL? Yeah, nice men are big LOL. That's somebody teasing me from the other night. Don't pay attention to him. I think he's like my little stalker, but I'm okay with that. I approve online stalking as long as it doesn't turn into something not nice. Okay. And it's nice for a girl to know that somebody's got a crush on her. Okay. So the question out here is, how many times can you go out with someone before you consider it as dating them versus just going out on a date? I don't know if women get confused about that. Like, we're like very emotional about the dating process. So what do you guys think? I'm gonna start with you, Rhumel. Like, how many? What is the number? Like, what constitutes? Like, I know you're married, but you give a lot of advice.
I don't know. My husband didn't realize we were dating. I told him that we were dating. That's how long ago it's been. It's almost 26 years. But I think it stands to have a conversation. I mean, if you are dating 3 times and you kind of dig each other and you want to see each other again, you need to be having a conversation about, like, what does this mean for us? Are we kind of hanging out together more exclusively, or where are we? You know, there's like a check-in. I would imagine so. It's been a long time, y'all.
Okay. All right. So Holly, what do you think? Because we're in the streets, we're single ladies. What do you think?
Yeah, and these streets aren't for the weak. I don't know if I keep track of the number. I gotta be honest with you. And I'm always a little bit hesitant. Like, who starts the conversation about how many times is it until we're considered dating? I just want to go out and do fun things, concerts, games, restaurants. I don't really want to put a label on something after a shoebox version of times that we're considered now dating. I mean, if we're having a good time and we're kicking it, why not just go with the flow until somebody says, hey, what's good?
That's a good method. And it's a great method. And I'm going to keep bringing us back to going with the flow. And the reason why I say that is because if we trust energy and you trust the fun of the concerts and the games and the affection and intimacy starts, like, the process is a patient one. And when you jump in front of it with, what are we? Who are we? What does this mean? It can jolt the flow.
Yeah.
And you might have been almost about to get there.
Right.
And you looked at the clock and said, this is day 13.
Right.
We've
And
seen
you put pressure on them.
And, you know,
okay, look,
he
agrees with you, Dr. Mac. He's like, you know, like, basically posted. And by the way, not to interrupt you, Dr. Mac, he says, sorry, I meant the nose. Does the nose mean LOL? And so I'm going to tell you, so far that nose has not did me wrong. I'm not going to lie. Consuela, she says we have a list as we should. See, there you go. She's with me. Jillian said that nose didn't do her wrong either. See, that nose, don't fool with it. We have a list we should, but must have expectations. I expect respect. I expect truth, honesty, and I expect morals. Okay. I don't think that's a list versus, you know, a great expectation. Consuela, why are you trying to be on the show? Okay. Consuela, you trying to be virtually on the show. You are definitely Dr. Mac's cousin. Okay. Consuela says, I was just posting from a session before the break. So Consuela basically is trying to join the podcast. You talk to your cousin, Dr. Mac. She's trying to be a guest on the show. And that's okay. We like guests. We're okay. So the thing that I really, you know, intently want to ask you guys, because this is a conversation I have with men and women. And by the way, you all answered the way men were anticipating with this. Just go with the flow. When you begin to put, we've been going out for 3 months, so what does this mean? that, like Dr. Max said, it puts pressure on, and the guy's like, well, it could have meant something, but hell, I mean, now, you know,
And
you labeling. So
and
men don't like labels.
No, or list.
List.
So the thing is, if you're listening and you're asking questions, you understand someone's moral code. You understand if they're going to meet your expectations. You can understand their social economic status. You understand based on how they order at restaurants what their palate may be and where you may have to take it. You understand what their spiritual connection is and where you may have to take it. When we go over what's already been gone over organically because we need the question or the conversation, it sometimes can feel like an unnecessary poke because you kind of know. And if someone is on their way to make a commitment statement, you can't push them there. That don't work. So when they get there definitively, the partner that, you know, and I can say partnerships where there's an aggressive or submissive or a male and a female, but the person who has the charge to lead the relationship has to make the declaration, not the one who will follow. So if you want to take the lead, go ahead and push, but don't come back later and say, why is he not a leader?
Okay, so we're
okay, Dr. Mac. Okay, Dr. Mac. All right.
Dr. Mac, did you get what I was throwing down? That's what
I
just
tried my best. I tried my best. I got the list. I said, okay, Ginger Ale. Help me, Ginger Ale. And it did.
She dropping gems. She dropping gems tonight.
She dropped that mic. I don't even know what's happening. So the next question is, once you've had sex, does that mean you are dating or a potential wife or girlfriend? Because I'm going to tell you, this is what I've heard. Now, Jillian, I'm going to go to you first because your face is twisted. Because women, I've heard people say, like, you know, we've been hooking up.
Sorry.
You know, women like, are we hooked up? Like, what's going on? Like, dude, it's a hookup. You just said it. Y'all getting together. That didn't constitute.
Yeah.
So, Jillian, what's your thoughts? What do you think? Because Jillian was like, what? Huh? Wait, why you do the
I
face?
think women, when they're younger, they think that's it, you know, one and done, and you're my man. But as you get older, it's like you need to do it more than just one time to see if you're that compatible.
Child, unless he laying it down with the good. I mean, I need to see all the tricks.
And everything. You know what? I think this is so funny because my guy friends think that it's only me that talks and thinks like this. No. And I say, no, women want the same thing. I want an amazing sexual experience. And if I'm not coming to an orgasm, something is wrong. Like, this is not just
what are we here for? Absolutely.
And I'm not going to just start. I'm just not going to keep doing it, and I'm not getting anything out of it. So my thing is, on minimum, I need at least one. My max is 10. If you get me to 10, I'm yours. I don't even know what's happening. You might as well sign a contract. If you tell me to jump, I'm like, how high? What's going on? Because if you get to 10 in one session, you a rock star. You done rock my world. Okay.
And that's a true story.
And that's a true story.
But I agree with Jillian with practice and, you know, having fun with teaching. But you know, if a vibe ain't there, so I agree with Holly as well. If you are connected to yourself and you know what you like to smell and feel and the type of touch you want, and you know your partner isn't at least, I don't know, 65% there or whatever it is that you can tolerate.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to go back there again.
No. Honestly, nobody on a first time is given 100%. Everybody's still feeling each other.
That's a nice to meet you. We're having sex. Hi.
Is it okay if I do this?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
You know what? It was like, well, nobody's gonna hit. And the thing is, you know, Julie's right. You need to get to know each other. So one time isn't enough. And to be totally honest with you, I like the before the sex happens. That's what excites me to get to that part. Like the whole romance. And I'm really silly like that. I like when a man brings me flowers.
Oh, that's my silly.
I do. And when you not the candy part, because I'm trying to chunk down. Don't bring the candy, but the flowers. You know what I mean? If you bring me a beautiful card, not one of them with one line in it, something that has some like "you thought about me" card. You know, write a little message in there. Just give me a coupon for dinner later in the card. Or something.
Food always works because I don't never know what I want to eat. So
Okay, wait a minute. I just want to say,
Girl.
first of all, our fellow cast members on other shows are chiming in on our show. So give me, so let me hit. So of course, by the way, Tara trying to be a pseudo on the show too.
That's my aunt. My support is my support. We
Okay, we're gonna be clear. Dr. Mac, your people, they trying to be on the virtual cast members. I love them.
Yeah.
Dr. Mac's crew is strong. Thank you, Dr. Mac's crew. So Juro, whose Friday show, 60 is the new 40, is Juro Robinson, and he will be on this Friday. He said, please make sure you are both on the same page. Ask the question, are you dating just me or are you dating multiple people? Ask. And he's right. I mean, he's 60. I'm sure he dated with a purpose. Number one, Cook, which is my BFF, Tombo Team Holly. Are you serious, Cook? That's my BFF. He like
Share.
Team Holly. I gotta share Cook now. Cook, thanks for tuning in. Okay, again, I just want to say your family member. We want to get there. So this is our cast member on Real Talk with the Ladies. Hey, Tacarra. She's out in California. Hi, honey. Okay, so she'll be on next week. But you know, of course, you guys, it's a time difference. But thank you for watching, honey. Juro, stay off our show. He's trying to join our show. He said, does size matter? Okay, wait a minute. I just want to keep it real. It depends on who the woman is. Now you got to ask the woman that you with if size matters. Now, does size matter to me? Obviously, Dr. Mac is screaming like, yep, it sure is. I'm just saying, it's some of us that it's a certain minimums. It's a minimum. I got a minimum.
And it's a maximum.
It's
a maximum too.
Okay, now Jillian, because like we'll run. If it's on a max, some maxes is too max for us. We're gonna run. So I do need to know. What'd you say, Jillian?
I said I don't like to be in pain.
See, that's the thing. So I'm gonna be honest. I've run. I've you know, the situation. Everybody was naked, and I just said, "Look, this is what I'm saying. I think you're amazing. I do, but that's too much magic. That's too much magic for me. Too much magic." And I think I'm gonna have to go down.
No, please.
Look, I had to step down from my position. Okay. Michael McDowell.
Why would my husband chime in on the dick part?
Because he's a true player. And a true player, no.
Why is her husband chiming in? I don't even understand. Okay. Oh, another one of our cast members. Hi, Courtney. She said, yes, girl. That was my comment also. Courtney is one of our Real Talk ladies. Again, you guys will see the whole cast like next week. So, Courtney, hi, honey. Gerald is right. I mean, all of that stuff matters. Consuela, we're not. Just come on the show. Just come on the show. He said, y'all ladies are wild. Great show, Christine. Rest of you ladies, awesome. All y'all got something with this. Okay, you're right. We do, the ladies do rock on this. She said, so this is Jay from Real Talk with the Men. Thank you guys for supporting.
Hey, Jay.
Jay said, hello, ladies. Interesting topic for sure. Again, Tacarra, we can't wait to have you on. She said it depends on how much I like you. You know what? She right. Because if it's not at your minimum, you might still be like, he's a good guy. Let me try to work with him. But I'm going to be honest with you. I might be a little shaky on that. I need to be honest.
But Christine, what if he was not your minimum, but he was a cookie monster?
Oh, wait a minute now. Did you throw a cookie monster? That's a
real.
So when I'm thinking mathematically, you just threw in another variable in that equation. Okay, ladies. So the thing is, can you go with a cookie
that's an appetizer. And
that's an appetizer.
You're not gonna spinach and artichoke dip me to death. Where's the steak? And what I mean by that is it's absolutely a psychological thing. Yes, the more I'm into you based on how you're filling me up, I can make myself think anything is okay. And if I like you enough and you're filling me up financially, I can say, well, I'm so comfortable, this dick is okay. Or in the reverse, you can say, he's so broke, but the dick is amazing. Whichever way floats your boat, you can make your mind up to accept it.
I can't wait to replay this. I got to replay it just for that quote. I'm replaying it just for that quote.
And I'm just going to tell you, we got so many comments coming in back to back. TNT says, if you can't cut the mustard, you can still lick the jar. Well, some of us
want to lick a whole jar of mustard.
Okay, TNT, I'm gonna be clear. I'm not about a jar licking. I need to know you got the masterpiece, the piece that I want. I'm all about the masterpiece. I'm not about the licking of the jar. Don't run from it. Well, if the
I'm running.
If it's too much happening, we gotta run from it. Oh my gosh! It's Dr. Neville from Real Talk with the Men. He'll be on Thursday. Hey, Dr. Neville. All right, so Courtney, you just should have came on the show. What is going on, Courtney? You at your event talking to us. She said, hey, friends. She said, I'll be there soon. You know what, Courtney, she doing something. I'm not Dr. Neville. He's sitting in the like I can't. Courtney, look, she said, get you much. She was talking to you, Dr. Mac. Ty, Pharrell and Ty, thank you so much for joining us tonight. She said, where's the fucking steak? Ty, you said it better than I could have ever said it. I'm not about appetizers. I'm about that meal, honey.
She said spinach and artichoke dip. I almost lost it.
Yeah.
And look at Courtney. Courtney say munch. I can't do it. And Gerald from he said, Holly, wow, you shocked me. Holly, you shocked Gerald. See, he probably thought you were a certain kind of, you shocked him. Folks, y'all know I hate to go to commercial break, but we got to pay our sponsors, and we got a lot of. So, folks, we're gonna be right back after this message. I promise you, we will be right back. Real quick, Anissa says, "Hey, Dr. Mac." She said, "Hey, I see you." Jay Black from Real Talk with Men. He said, "Geez, Holly, say it with y'all chest, indeed." But like Kevin Hart said, you gonna learn today. All right, y'all. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks because y'all gonna learn today what women want when you date them. Hey guys, welcome back. We are so happy to have you back here with us. Real Talk with the Ladies. If you're interested in any promotional materials, all promotional materials for 5F's to Love is created by PICF, and that would be my other company. So we'd be happy to create any of your branding and marketing strategies. And if you like a commercial and sponsor 5F's to Love, like our new sponsor, which is Duke and Dame, we'll do the Legacy Black Legacy Liqueur Company. Be sure to just DM me and we'll be happy to show your commercials for your products on our podcast. So ladies, listen, everything was getting real hot and heavy. I didn't even want to go to commercial break, okay? Because it was getting hot and heavy. But, we got to pay our sponsors. So the question now that stands, now that we've got over the basically clarity, if you're just joining us, you got to ask the woman what's important to her. Is she an appetizer or a full course meal woman? Because if she's not an appetizer and that's all you're offering, it might fall short on that dating. It may not go to the next level because I don't like an appetizer and neither does Dr. Mac. You might get a little something with Holly though. Let's be clear. She might let you do an appetizer, but she still want a full course meal. Jillian is
not
on a full
texting
course
you back
meal.
real fast though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't go too fast.
Oh,
And Jillian agreed that the nose, my little trick about the nose, Jillian said it paid off. Her husband came in with 10s, okay? 10s, because the nose, don't fool with it, okay? All right, so the next question is there any level of commitment implied when you're dating versus being in a committed relationship? Is there any level of commitment?
No such thing as implied commitment.
No.
Thank you. Can you please explain that, Dr. Mac?
Because it's the same as, a male assuming implied consent. It's wrong. You didn't have the conversation. You didn't give the person the opportunity to confirm anything. So there you go again, jumping, making implications and assumptions. And that's why you have people that are in relationships and don't know it because, it was never a confirmation.
At what point do you have that conversation though? Because before we were going with the flow, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people get caught up in the flow and they think they're in a relationship because they haven't had that conversation.
I think that people don't have their standard completely set on what makes them feel like they're in a relationship. Some people feel that as soon as they spend money on you, okay, listen, this is getting serious. Some people feel meeting their mother. Some people think it's having sex. Some people think it's having unprotected sex or going to my church, meeting my child. Everybody has like a thing where it's like, that's when you're busting at the seams. And you kind of know what that is, and nobody can tell you what it is. We kind of judge people if their thing isn't our thing, but some stuff people don't care about, and sometimes it's the time. Some people don't care about the back and forth for 6 months or a year, and because it's okay with their life.
It's okay, and that's true. And Jillian, I'm going to go to you right after we read a couple comments. Joe said, "This is why men date multiple women. Women have so many expectations." So, and I'm going to be honest with you, I have a lot of male friends, and that is why. Because once whoever was number one, once she puts those expectations and those demands on him, then he goes to number two. Then number two starts to see him more. Now, if number two does it, then he starts going to number three. And I mean, I just hate to say that, but it's the truth because that's how they think. And then TNT, again, he said, "Great show, ladies. Tune in Thursday the 19th. Real Talk with the Men is going up." And that's Tim Good Guy. He's on Real Talk with the Men. All right, so guys, what do you think about that, Jillian? Do you think Dr. Mac is right? What do you think?
Yeah, totally. But I also feel like once you start having sex, there's got to be some kind of a commitment. For me, I'm a germaphobe. And being in the health field, a nurse, I've seen it all, and I don't want it all. Like, if I'm going to have sex with you, then you better not be having sex with other people, or you better wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because I want to stay safe. I've never had a disease up until this day, and I don't want any either. So,
And you know what?
For sure.
Tara agree with you. She says everything breaks down to communication. And Gerald said exactly, Chris, thank you. The thing is, you need to talk to people. And I'm a germaphobe. So I'm although I enjoy sex, but I don't enjoy sex with multiple people. So my rule of thumb is if you're seeing me, you're seeing me. And I make that clear. I go, once you enter this vagina, that's it. Like, you just need to call it. I'm not saying this is a committed relationship, but I'm the only person you're sleeping with. You can go out with who you want. But when it comes time for that intimate moment, I'm not going to be with you if you're with somebody else because, coming from, I was a chemist in my first life. And then working as a science teacher teaching biology, chemistry, robotics, and all of that, I'm teaching kids how STDs spread. I've seen it in a girl's mouth, and if she performs oral sex and the herpes from her mouth is then on his penis, and then now your penis is inside of me and now I got it. I'm not open to all of that. So either you are happy with all of this magic or you go on. Holly, how do you feel with dating? Are you good with, what's happening? Because condoms is real. I do use condoms. That's real.
Absolutely. I just don't understand how people are having sex but not having the conversation. That just blows my mind. That blows my mind entirely. If somebody is good enough to lay down with and take your clothes off with, they're good enough to have that conversation with. So why be shy when it comes to actually talking about feelings, but you not being shy when it comes down to get busy? I don't understand that.
That is a little weird. And I think as a single woman, I hear that more often than not. And I go, well, did you guys talk about it? I mean, right. Rhumel, you don't count. You met your husband in college. Y'all been rocking it now for like 30 years, right?
We have been. We've been together for 31 years.
Okay, and Dr. Mack, how long have you been with your husband?
Married 10, together 20.
See, that's long. And then Jillian, how long have you been with your husband?
Our, I think it's 12 or 13th anniversary is next week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And we got married fast. I mean, we just knew. So we were only together a year and a half before we got married.
And you just knew he was the one.
Yeah.
I love it.
I stalked him.
Okay, I didn't want to put that out there that you stalked him. I was just trying to make it seem like it was beautiful. I didn't want to say you stalked him. Okay. But she put it out there, everybody. She did. But she did it for the right reason.
You know what you want. You know what you want. You go after it.
She did it for the right reason. I'm going to tell you right now, when you see her husband, I got a girl crush on him, like for real. Like I totally got a crush on her husband. I need to be invited to the party just so I can see him and touch him.
You can come to our party.
Okay.
I love how she said it. She can come to our party.
Okay, so we just kind of answered this question. Like, do you think there's a different meaning or understanding around dating for men versus women? Do you guys think that? Not you personally, the collective of women that you talk to. Do you think there's a difference in the mindset?
I think it's self-imposed. I think we judge each other a lot and we make each other lie. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by making each other lie, if I was uncomfortable in this conversation because of how many married women were on the podcast, I might not feel comfortable saying, well, I actually want to date more than one person and I just want to, have them show me their test results. And that's how I want to manage, my sexual encounters over the next, whatever your timeline is based on your life. And maybe your audition process or your dating process includes understanding how you feel with them, on you, in you, around you, touching you, because you want to have that in a long-term commitment or a marriage. And you're just like, listen, I'm a sexual person, touch is my language, and I'm dating all three of them. So I have to come up with a method that works for me. And I think allowing women safe spaces to speak that type of truth is what we're aiming for. And that it's okay for you to do that. And it's okay for somebody to say, well, I'm not doing anything until, or I'm going to see him, stalk him. And before you know it, he's my husband, like Jillian.
Right. That was
plan and execute.
Right. Yeah. So, but you're Dr. right.
Yeah.
I get it. I saw mine freshman year in college.
People for too long.
Yeah, I mean, listen. me and
Holly,
Mike.
Are you listening to them?
I am. I was colorblind.
We need to be paying attention. They locks the damn. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, who do I need to be stalking right now?
I was just about to say, does anybody need a stalker out there? Because
Holly say, get in her DMs.
Guys, if you're watching, Holly and I are like, what's up? DM us, okay? Because we up for the stalking right now. But this is the thing. Okay, so what you guys were saying, to me, I feel like that's huge because we judge each other based on what we want for dating. So if I did make a choice, like Dr. Mack was saying, to date multiple men because that's what I want to do, that doesn't qualify me as a hoe. It just means that's what I want. And if I'm safe about it, then don't judge me, just embrace it and let it go. Because I find that as women, you're right, we'll say things in front of other women because we want to be similar. We don't want to seem like an outlier.
Well,
Now, me on the other hand, I don't really care because I just say what I'm gonna say. But go ahead.
I think collectively we suffer from a good girl syndrome.
Yeah,
You know, and that's it causes people not to have the conversations, the honest conversations, like Dr. Mack was saying. And truthfully, I feel like more so in the last few years, women are really feeling more empowered to have these kind of conversations. But people who are my age, we didn't grow up talking, you know, about our needs, like our wants. At least my friends and I didn't. You know, it was like you were so concerned, like you couldn't sleep with too many guys in college, or else you were the hoe, you were this, you were that. And so, but now women are more empowered, and they're more empowered about their own sexuality. And I love that. And I think that the more we are able to have open conversations, having open conversations with our girls, having open conversations with our friends, you know, to let them know that it's okay for us to talk about what it is that makes us happy. I think that it's well overdue.
Yeah, it's a freedom.
And it's okay to be sexy too.
It's okay to be what?
It's okay to be sexy.
It is. It's the best thing to be sexy. I think so many women, we did a show prior to this in season 2. We talked about the number of women who didn't even have orgasms. They were married in long-term relationships and just didn't even have orgasms. And it was so weird because my thing is, I'm going to be honest, and I've said this on so many shows. You can replay me from season 1. By date 2, and sometimes it happens on date 1. I just ask you, does your dick work? Do we need medication to make it work? Or all of this magic, does it work on this? Because if all this magic don't make it happen, then we need to talk about it. What I don't want to happen is I'm all with my fancy nightwear on, you know, we laying out, Luther Vandross is on, and I'm looking at you and you looking at me talking about tonight ain't the night. What you mean tonight ain't the night? Don't tell me then it don't work. I don't want to know then. I need to know before we get there. So this is the thing. I'm not going to disregard you. But Holly will tell you, men are not that forthcoming in their 50s or 40s that my penis does not work.
No.
And they will say, oh, it must be something with you. Or no, it's not. Wait a minute now. Because this is candy.
Or this ain't never happened before. That's an old, this is never
this has never happened before. And you looking at like, so what are you trying to say? Like, what's going on?
Right.
So the thing is, you know, and the men are going to talk about that on men's health, because that is something that needs to be addressed. You know, when you're dating in your 40s and in your 50s, and as I said, a really, really good friend of mine who I love, and I have to go spend time with them, he's 45 and ended up with prostate cancer. His wife didn't leave him. But before that happened, obviously there were some symptoms that added up to this, that there was some issues. But the thing is, he's 45. So, folks, let's just be real. Dating has changed. I knew Jay was going to have something to say. Jay from Real Talk with the Men, honey. He says, in my experience with women, with the many female friends I have, most women suffer from being more concerned about perception versus simply accepting their own reality and their own truth. Exactly.
That's true.
And you know, and then so Drill says, wait until you're married. Drill, you know what? You know I love you, right?
Good night.
You know, you're one of my really good friends, but Drill, let me tell you something. I'm testing it. I don't want to wait till I get married. If I get married and it don't work, I'm divorcing the next day.
But Christine, I want to speak to something you said about, you know, I'm honey or I'm candy, and why can't, you know, he get up? I have, you know, had the experience of working with a lot of clients that, you know, have, and I'm going to put it out there and say an arrogance to them. Yeah. And it's like, because I'm woman, your dick should be hard. And because I'm woman, it should be hard enough to satisfy me every single time.
Well, not every time.
And the challenge, of course, I'm agreeing that we should communicate if you need to count to 3 and do a dance and pop a pill so we can prepare. But at the same time, I need to understand the work that you're putting in and empathize what that looks like in comparison to your diet. You're dating a diabetic.
Yes.
You're dating somebody that's obese. You're dating somebody with
yes.
like, reroute your expectations versus maybe someone that has, you know, a different level of fitness. But at the same time, I think as women, we have to be okay with understanding what it means to turn someone on, other than just being in ways other than just having the same parts that we all have.
Exactly. And sensuality is huge. And we're going to talk about that on another podcast coming up, is sensuality. What is sensuality? Because what women don't understand is I never leave my house not together. I feel like I have to look what it is that I feel that I am. I have to present that at all times. And so if you're sensual, and I've heard men they go, wow, you're really an attractive woman. I like that, because that means that I'm projecting that type of, you know, the thing is, you got to look the part. And that's all I'm saying. But the thing is, I want women to understand it. Don't leave a man because he has ED. Don't do that. High blood pressure, if you got heart disease, if you have diabetes, if you have a bad diet, if you drink a lot, if they smoke cigars, all of those add up to ED. So the thing is, work with them.
Help them now.
You know, Jillian, we're going to do a show on that about women who have once you go through menopause, we've got issues versus the men who have issues. And Jillian, you know, we're going to need you to head that up, because you and Dr. Mack, y'all going to be some rock stars in that space. I'm just basically going to be Oprah, okay? And all the rest of us will be along for the ride. But the thing is, there are some conversations around it. So, folks, real talk. Do not, I repeat, walk out on a guy because it's not functioning at the level you need it to. Talk to him. Work with them. Get a diet.
Turn them on.
Right. Yeah, a man is more than his penis. We're going to be clear. He's more than his penis. But that penis is delightful. We're going to keep that real, though. Okay, so folks, we'll be right back after these messages. We have to go to a quick commercial break. When I say quick, this was going to be real quick. We'll be right back.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, sink ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways.
Broken future, all the plans you made in your heart grew just to die.
Hey guys, welcome back. I said I try to go as fast as I could. Be sure to watch Wednesday, with Reverend Reda McDowell. That's the meta behind relationships. He's a relationship expert. I watch him. I'm on the show, and I learned a lot about myself. And of course, you guys know Real Talk with the Men is on Thursdays. So if you don't want to know what the men are thinking, ladies, watch. It's not a joke. And then we have 60 is the new 40, which is on Friday. And on Saturday, we got the finance. We got Mordecai in the finance squad. And these are all African-American men working in the money. Money, 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 money. And then we got Sunday. We finish it off with Dr. Shelley, and she's talking about Sunday dinner conversation, family love, conversations about love, relationships, finances, and how to work with obstacles within a family. Because what? Family love is how you keep it going, folks, once you get married. Okay, so back to Real Talk with the ladies. Let me tell you something. I'm learning a lot about myself right now, and I feel like I might be a tiny bit leaning towards more of a physical thing, but the intellect matters to me, right? And that's so important. I need a man that's going to be able to read to me while we're in bed. That does it for me. By the way, people need to be conscious of the little innuendos that turn people on. It's not the same. Like what you did with girlfriend one, not going to work for all the other ones after. So let's not repeat that performance. Men, pay attention. Y'all like to do repeats because y'all get good at something and y'all try to repeat it. You know what I mean? And I like that don't work. Can you just read to me? I just need you to read to me. Jillian, what's your thing? What does it for you?
So the moment I knew that I was in love with my husband was when he answered all the Jeopardy questions before the panelists did.
I love when she said that. I was like, she was like, he answered all the Jeopardy questions. That's when I knew he was the one.
That's
so
right.
See,
you got to stimulate this before you can stimulate this.
There you go. So Holly, what is it for you? What's your thing?
There is nothing sexier than learning something from a man. Nothing sexier. Teach me something, please. Especially if it's what you're passionate about, I want to know as much as you know. So just keep talking and teaching.
Aww.
I love it. That. Okay, Rhumel, how did your husband get you?
My husband is one of the most compassionate people on this earth, and he one of the first things that we did was volunteer with some kids when we were in college. And I saw him, how compassionate he was with those kids, and just about taking care of people. And it just, I don't know, it really endeared me to him, and I wanted to get to know him more. And so,
oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
Sweet.
Dr. Mackey, you guys, I swear, I wish I would have really paid attention to that boy I was talking in college now. Honestly, I would be in Florida. He's a computer science college professor at Florida State.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I am my husband is the most beautiful man I've ever seen. So physically,
oh my God, that's so beautiful.
He does it for me. And the older he gets, the more it's like it's a new one, but it's the same one. So it's so good. And I would say that his security in his moral code, his spirituality, and he has a perfect heart, and he won't be moved. And he's been in situations where like a lot of things, including me, have attempted to move him, and he's steadfast in who he is and his Blackness, you know, and his Chicago-ness and his culture and his family. So just a man.
So, you know, I'm going to be honest. You guys have to wait till he comes home and she's still on the podcast. Always switches from Dr. Mack to like in love with him. It's so mystical. I love it. So, you know, her cousin was like, yes, teach me. It was so funny. We were like the podcast was over. We were still talking. And he came home. She was like, girl, I got to go. My husband is home. I got to go.
Yeah,
I was like,
there for that.
She was like, I'm off. I'm out. I love it, but you can see it like her whole face lit up. And I was like, what happened? It was so beautiful. Look, here go your cousin. She said, Rhumel, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then look, while you was talking, Dr. Mack, here go your cousin. She said, yes.
That's my aunt there.
That's your aunt. Let me tell you something. Black love is just so amazing when it happens. And see, the thing is, one of the things, Jillian, you don't understand. We grew up watching white love on TV. That's all we saw. So we didn't think it existed in our culture. And like when we see it at a glance, it's like we were watching, everything had a person in it and it wasn't us.
Yep.
And we were trying to figure out, well, does that exist in our culture? But it's so funny because when Jillian talks, I don't see color, by the way, because we just be talking about stuff and Jillian cracks me up. But the thing is, she is an excellent example of just a woman who's just a woman, and she doesn't look at things through the lens of this is who I am. She looks at it as people. But when you're in that environment and we're looking at you, we're thinking, oh, her life must be different. And it's not. It's just you're in a different skin, but it's the same experiences. Nobody would have ever thought that a person that looks like you had horrible dating experience. They'd probably be thinking, oh my gosh, she's had nothing but amazing men, one after the other. Jillian was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. This is what happened. And I had to make a switch because it was going to the left and I need to be going to the right. So I switched. And this is when we first talked, and she just did real talk. Like, this is what happened. And that's how I knew I was really into her husband, because she said he answered the Jeopardy questions and I'm into the man. And then I saw his picture. He looked like a Ken doll and he got a big nose. So I was like, look, Jillian, don't mess up. Don't mess up, Jillian, because I'm on the skirts. I'm on the skirts, Jillian. I don't even know what. And he's tall and he like a Ken doll. I was like, Jillian, don't mess up. Don't mess up. So no. Look, and her husband doesn't even know he's that handsome. Like, he doesn't even get it. I was like, how does he not get these, and their children, they're gorgeous. They got some gorgeous little babies. Rhumel, your kids are so cute. I've been all on your page. I just want to let you know that. I'll be on your stuff. And so Dr. Mack is in the process of creating some baby Macs over there. I'm waiting on them. I'm like your family. I'm putting pressure on you. Okay? Ooh. I'm sick of this. We talking about 20 years. Can I get a little baby Mac out of that? Can you stop? Huh?
From your mouth to our ancestors' ears, if the baby ready to choose me, I'm ready to take it.
Oh, I love that. Don't make me get emotional about it.
Look, Christine, they told me you at the baby shower. I feel it.
They're gonna be gorgeous.
Oh, Jillian's coming with you.
We coming. We coming. We gonna support because, honey, that baby thing and situation is beautiful. So, guys, listen. I told you before you know it. Look at Jillian. You're gonna have another baby.
No, Courtney's going to.
Oh, Courtney needs to have a baby. When you guys meet Courtney to me is like the epitome of like a model. If she doesn't even know she should be a model, because she's so smart. Like she doesn't even get it.
Super smart.
She is absolutely gorgeous. She's like New York thin. And I told her you need to be a model. So I'm going to introduce her to Robert, who has a modeling agency, and she needs to model. She's gorgeous. I can't even get over it.
I love that. I love that about you. That's so community of you.
Oh yeah, I connect the dots. Holly knows I'm coming to Pennsylvania because I'm hooking her up because I went to Delaware State. All my posse is on the East Coast, and they just marinating. But my guys all around town are looking too. Oh, look at these comments. Let me hurry and get these comments. Consuela, you know what? First let me do Tar. She said, "I love me some Mike." That's for you. I love me some him. All right. Consuela, she said her eyes is on you. Miss Woodson, who's Miss Woodson? Whose people is that? She said, I love, yes, I love.
She just hanging out with us. Hey, Miss Woodson.
Thank you so much for joining us, Miss Woodson. We appreciate your support. What is it? Kiro Schminder? Did I mess up my saying that right?
Scribner.
Hey, Christine. Okay, hey. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us next Tuesday and join the ride because we do have a good time. Consuela, just come on the show. Just come on the show. She said, let's bring little cuz on into the world. She's supporting. She for it too. Look, I done started something, Dr. She started something. Oh, this is Kendrick. Hey, Kendrick. Now I know who it is. Hi, honey. That's DC. That's DC. Hi, honey. So listen, guys, thank you so much. As always, we had a rock star show. But before we go, I would like for you guys to give 2 minutes of advice or thoughts behind dating that you want to leave people with. And so I'm going to start with you, Dr. Mack.
I'm going to say, give yourself permission to go with the flow and be organic. You know your standards and your expectations, and you can hear things in conversations on the first or second day. Trust your gut and the red flags, but don't go in there like you're the judge and the jury or you're there on an interview. Just be cool and enjoy, the positive side of the dating game.
I love that. All right, Rhumel, you're up, honey.
I would say that love is not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, right? And give yourself time. And also look for compatibility opposed to just like and love.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I like that. Okay, Holly, you're up.
I'm Jillian.
Oh, Jillian, I'm sorry. I'm looking at you. Jillian, you're up.
Remember to breathe and relax because it's nerve-wracking to date sometimes, but I feel like the more you relax, the more sensual you can be and just
I like that
and be present in the moment.
I like that. I really like that. Just to relax and breathe. And that's great advice. Ladies, you need to relax and breathe. Okay, Holly, we the single ladies. I hope you got something good to say because I don't have nothing. I don't know what's happening. They didn't blow it out the water.
Yeah, no. Advice with dating. I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask this question.
Well, you can talk about your do's and don'ts and the things that didn't work.
I think the most important thing is just to be authentically you. Bring yourself each and every time. Don't try to meet someone else's expectations of what you're assuming they want from you. Just be yourself, because the right person will fall in love with the real you.
I love that. And you know what? I just have to put this. He said, Holly. You know what? Stop flirting with her, Kendrick. Okay, guys, I want to say thank you again for joining us here at Real Talk with the Ladies. You're going to see us next week, and our conversation is going to be even deeper because our thing is about having real conversation about real women issues, and that you can identify with some of the things that we're saying. And hopefully some of the things we're saying are going to help you make that transition into who you want to be. Again, like Dr. Mack said, you really need to look at who you uniquely want to be. And don't make decisions because of what you're hearing other people say. That means your girlfriends, and trying to feel that you need to be similar to what they're saying life is like for a woman. Be uniquely yourself and enjoy your life. And we'll see you next week on Real Talk with the Ladies.